What's up, everybody? Welcome to a game that I've been wanting to play for a while. I've played it before, but it's been a while. Ace Attorney Investigations. So, little bit of the, also actually thanks for the host. Little bit of an intro. If you're watching my channel right now or on YouTube, especially on YouTube, you might know what the series is all about. But little summary. Ace Attorney. As the name suggests, it's a series about a defense attorney named Phoenix Wright, who solves murder mysteries to get his clients declared not guilty in the middle of the trial itself. Because apparently the detectives in this universe are completely incompetent and just believe any little lie or manipulation of evidence presented towards them. Hey, well, I'll tell you what. That's what he looks like, Phoenix Wright. We're not playing as him today. Sorry, goodbye. We're playing as the Vegeta to his Goku, Miles Edgeworth. Childhood friend of his, and I will not say much more than that because you should probably just play Ace Attorney 1 to find out. But this is a spin-off game that takes place somewhere around sometime during the original Ace Attorney trilogy, and doesn't star so much Edgeworth in his prosecutor attorney role. Rather, just events that happen during his everyday life that require a little bit of his brain power. Which is good that he has some, because I don't got any. Yeah, this is right. No, this is Edgeworth. This isn't right. Anyway, let's start the game. I'm playing this on an emulator. I have a copy of the game. I don't know where it went. But doesn't it just look nice? It's a little bit reminiscent of my Gyakuten Saibon setup, isn't it? Let's appreciate it for a second while I get the music out of here. Let's get started. Brain power? What's that? Turnabout visitor. If you don't know anything about the series, this game will definitely get you up to speed. Anything that you actually need to know. So, without further ado, March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Where? To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Don't shoot! Didn't even leave for me, man! Is this... It's Kamoshida! I knew he was a murderer as well as... No, wait, it's some other guy. Very interesting hair. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Jeff Gemini, what's up? YC, thanks for gifting us other gems. Welcome to the Chicken Coop. Grab a nest, get comfy. Also, hope you're doing well. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. Look at him! He has a sprite. He has a walking sprite. Now that's already something very different from the main Ace Attorney trilogy. Normally, you walk around in first person, but you actually see Edgeworth in third person in this game. It kind of helps with the investigative portion, but for the most part, it behaves the same as any other Ace Attorney game. So, setting the scene. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. Yeah, about that, Edgeworth. I haven't been to my office in like 5. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. It's the only part of his job description that matters. The actual detective work, well, we know he's bupkis at that. Huh? The door. It's unlocked.
Hey.
Ruh-roh. Detective Gumshoe? Huh? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood! What's that smell? Blood! Things are already pretty grim right out the bat. What the? What's the meaning of this? What, you don't have a dead guy in your office? What? I told Gumshoe to clean up this body Post haste! Oh no, it's gonna smell up the place. It's gonna take extra effort to get all that rancidness out of the carpet. Oh! Freeze. What's going on here? Can't you see I'm rambling about the dead guy in my room? This is very, very familiar. Identify yourself. Edgeworth! So badass. No, I'm serious. I'll shoot. Try me. Oh yeah? Well? What's this? Chickens? Okay, sure. Thank you for the bang bang in this very serious moment, but... Fine. I like the timing. But that's not a bullet, that's You get it this time, but I'm gonna disable it for serious moments from now on. Identify yourself. Shut up. I don't know anybody by the name of Shut Up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Hey, that was my favorite suit. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Okay, bye. This man exudes such big prosecutor energy. Love it. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district.
Bang, bang.
Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Yes, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. That's pretty high. I mean, that's at least 800 more than 420. Okay, maybe slightly less than 800 more. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Is he investigating or is he dusting? Dusting for prints. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? I think he's fine. Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. I thought it was your office. Yes, but right now it's a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's the detective with the local precinct. Very, very nice name. Man, Gumshoe, when's the last time I saw this guy? He's been missing from, like, the recent Ace Attorney games. Like the last, I don't know, 1, 2, 3... At least last 3 of them. He's a good boy. He's a good lad. He survives on nothing but cop ramen, but he's good. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. What, do you expect someone else? And you get that chicken bullet emote. It's one of the bit emotes. You don't get it by subscribing. You get it by donating bits. If you've not been on Twitch for a while, then that's a new thing. You're looking a little pale. Sir, are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Hey, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say. The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. And blood. Not to mention the blood. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Wait, actual mud? I don't remember that. How do you actually manage to track mud into, like, the 12th floor of a building? Like, making sure it gets preserved, like, as you walk into the elevator, making sure not to leave most of it in there. That's some dedication. It's like they want it to be found. Whoa! Sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so It is my responsibility to solve it.
That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating.
Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. Ho ho ho! Salary cutting noises. This hasn't done anything bad yet. So, every Ace Attorney game, except for maybe the first one, also Mihan, what's up? Every Ace Attorney game, except for probably the first one, has a little gimmick to it of some sort. Phoenix Wright, again, this guy, that guy, him. I know he's pointing over there, but he should be pointing at himself. Whether it's like a magical relic that is able to detect lies, or able to detect when people are lying, or a little emotional robot that can judge people's emotions, or a magic bracelet that allows you to zoom in on people's little tics and habits. Edgeworth does things a little differently. Careful, why am I being careful? Is another bullet coming? No, only one bang bang per stream. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene, my office. Is it really a coincidence? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you?
No, not really. Especially because of this. That? Yes, this. I mean, sorry, that was my, Story of Seasons limited edition cow. I do rather like it very much. I've been playing it a lot on my Switch. I mean, this key blade.
The key to your office?
For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What other reason do you need to have a lock? What's that button? It says logic.
What do you mean, sir?
If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you.
Logic?
You've heard of logic before, right?
No, sir. I'm afraid I never got taught that in detective school.
Detective school? You mean training?
Nope, detective school. You know, I thought it kind of funny that it said clown school, but they crossed out the word clown.
Oh my god, no wonder Phoenix Wright usually solves the case by himself. Yeah, that's right. That's the gimmick of this game. Common sense. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. I love it so much. Edgeworth is teaching Gumshoe how to think. And it's totally within his character to not. That is the end result of using logic. Mages of Tea, what's up? Hoi hoi. No, chess isn't until the next game. Save it for later.
So, how do you use it?
My goodness. How did you even become a detective?
Well, I got my license in the back of a cereal box.
First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Thinking music. Perfect. Now let's see. You forgot what the robot AI's name was. I believe its name is Widget. Yeah, it's a little necklace. That's in Ace Attorney 5 and 6. You know what? I probably will stream the whole Ace Attorney series at some point. I had this whole plan to play it with Brad. But that was back when I didn't really have an established viewership of people who like these kinds of story-based games. So that was pretty unfortunate that nobody really showed up. But I hoped he was enjoying it. Maybe I'll goad him into playing it on his stream. Anyway, connect these two. Oh my gosh, the 2 points of data connect. It's the only two I have. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. We don't have enough budget to put it on the defense attorney's doors. That's why Phoenix, he doesn't actually put all his stuff in his office. He just keeps everything in that mentor office of his. Harris, thanks for the sub. Oh, well, thank you. That's a very nice message. You don't have to do that, man, but thank you for the support. Grab an nest, get comfy, and enjoy the show. which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, oh, I love that word. That is an Edgeworth word. It is impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence.
Yes, that's...
Yeah, what is that?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. I gotta remember not to give him, like, the British pronunciation of words, just his manner. I'm not voicing him British, I'm voicing him, like, with the, what's that accent? Like, transatlantic accent? Posh, but still American. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Oh yeah, that's right! Phoenix ends up using his office as, like, his home after he adopts and all that. Ace Attorney. I really need to play the rest of this series. This is my, you know, this is me saying that I am going to play the rest of it on stream. I figured that we start with this one so I can eventually play 2, and then just go play the whole thing.
You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir.
Yes, well, when you follow leads to that conclusion, only the truth remains. Sounds very similar to something Mr. Sherlock Holmes would say. Sherlock's in this series. Maybe it's canon. However, if the information does not line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well, and then actually die. It's a health bar, it's like I'm playing Street Fighter. Funny thing, Phoenix Wright is playable in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate. I'm so sad that he's not part of, like, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or any other, like, crossover fighting game. Phoenix Wright for Smash, let's go. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Edgeworth, you don't know me. Thankfully, I've played this game before, so we shouldn't fail too much. And as always, if I need help, I'll look it up or I will ask you guys. So please respect that, the normal, you know, backseating rules and everything. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Gummy. Oh, Gummy. Listen to this. Pretty much all the music in this game is a banger.
Words, magical underwear.
Magical underwear.
I'm amazed at how true C does that. The crazy part of me wants to say that Phoenix stored all his worldly possessions in their ManokAdobo smug.
I don't want to bring it up because that's a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, like, 4 and up thing. But yeah, Phoenix Wright adopts a magical girl. I mean a magician, a dark magician girl. I mean a magician girl as his daughter, and then she puts stuff in her underwear. It makes sense in context. She's a very good magician. Today, though, we're focusing on Mr. Edgy Boy. Also, thanks for the bits, Goku. You'd play Phoenix Wright in Smash. I would too. You may think we have enough Capcom reps, but
We don't. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir.
I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button.
Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir.
Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Oh, look at this, look at this! I have a controller plugged in, so I can control the game by, like, just walking around. So unheard of for the Ace Attorney series up until now. But it's a cool new perspective. It kind of reminds me of Ghost Trick too. Or I can click around, kind of use this as a virtual D-pad, and you can see the map on the touchscreen too. Very nice, very nice. How's it coming along?
Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Phoenix could do this while, like, an entire chat is yelling at him. But I never! Gonna cut his salary too. Cut your salary, cut your salary! Maybe reallocate it to Gumshoe. At least he's more competent. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir! Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir! And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes!
Talk about a contradiction.
Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Where could it possibly be? Nothing out of the ordinary here but a gun. Those are very ordinary. Don't you know this is America? Japanifornia, in fact. I will mention this every time I play a Phoenix Wright game. Ace Attorney game in this case. This game takes place in California? Basically, the original series, Gyakuten Saiban, takes place straight up in Tokyo, Japan. But when they localized the first game, it was still that era of video games where, like, they were trying to hide the fact that these games came from Japan, but right on the edge of that. And over time in this series, things started to make less and less sense. Like, deliberately going to, like, ramen shops and, like, cases, evidence depending on, like, the differences between kanji and katakana and stuff like that. They still go on with it, though. They still claim that this game takes place in California, Los Angeles. So, you know what? We'll just say it's like some sort of form of San Francisco, Big Hero 6 style. Alternate universe where Japan had a bit more influence on the Western United States, let's say. And rice balls are donuts. What's up, Rex? Hope you're doing good. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? No, it's a decorative piece. Of course, it's a gun. If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. Wow, what an idiot. Why would they leave it? Jelly-filled donuts. Jelly-filled are my favorite. I think I've seen one of these before. With the gun? Aren't you given one? You're a detective. Care to enlighten me as to where?
Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model, I think.
Oh, detective. It's actually pretty useful information, Edgeworth.
I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous, especially against living things.
It's a weapon.
But now I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, so I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it.
So, it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Actually useful. Probably hinting towards maybe the gun came from somewhere around here, owned by someone here. Oh, Edgeworth. This is why he doesn't use logic chess in this game. His chessboard's all ruined. He has to wait for a new one shipped all the way from, like, I don't know, the custom designer all the way from, like, India or something.
Oh, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured you could play a few games.
What's the point, Gumshoe? Every time we play, you let me win in 5 turns.
Actually, sir, I don't let you win.
Of course, don't be so coy. I know you're that nice.
No, really, I'm trying my hardest.
Oh. They're very good games, sir. Mr. Gumshoe. So sad. I had no idea you were interested in chess.
I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try.
That is a completely different skill set. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Aww! Edgeworth and Gumshoe. 2 peas in a pod. Say what you will about how Edgeworth treats Gumshoe. You know what? They're still pretty good friends. Japanifornia. Yeah, exactly, Mystic. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. Oof. Yeah, when the game makes the same joke than I do, you know that the characters resonate with me. Rex is hanging in. Oof. Yeah, hang in there, Rex. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of taxation on your mental effort. Please take it easy if you can. Well, anyway, hope you guys can relax. Hope you guys are doing well for the moment. They finished photographing the body. Photographing. So it should be alright to examine this area. I like how much care Edgeworth takes in examining the crime scenes, unlike Phoenix Wright, who's usually doing it, like, outside of the law, sneaking into, like, taped-off areas behind the police's back. Edward's like, just gotta make sure I don't accidentally tamper with anything. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Especially Nook's cranny. Is that a wallet? How much money is in here? Suspicious. There's $0.
Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's like $200.
There's $0. Don't you see it's empty, Gumshoe?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And that's $200 not going into your paycheck.
Oh. Hey, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective.
Oh, hey, I get the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky dink.
Really just say coinky dink. Let's take a look inside. If you're not familiar with the Ace Attorney series, that's another thing they love to do. His name, Buddy Faith. The names in this game a little on the nose, but that's on purpose. It's not just the localizers having fun. The names in Japanese really are that cringy. He seemed like a good man. And if you think Buddy Faith is bad, there's literally a detective named Goodman somewhere else in the series. He was a good man. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Maybe shot with his own gun? Phoenix and Edgeworth are the best team. Unfortunately, Phoenix missed his calling as being a detective. He does a better job than Gumshoe at the very least. Could you imagine? That'd be really cool, actually. If Phoenix straight up was a detective. Then again, like, if we're talking, like, pre-Ace Attorney 1 or early Ace Attorney Edgeworth, back when he was more concerned with winning cases rather than finding the truth, yeah, maybe they still would have been at ends. That would also still be interesting. There's also Shady Man. I don't remember that. Must be from Investigations 2. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Oh, let's see. Ba-da-da-da-da. You've seen at least a better name than Goodman. Oh, they get physically painful, I will say. I've mentioned this before, but there's a kid in Ace Attorney 6 who is like a travel guide. His name is I'll Be Your Guide. Anyway, the killer's goal, revolver, victim was a detective. So I'm assuming that the revolver connects to the detective because it was issued. It's the same kind that's issued to the detectives here. Thankfully, Gumshoe has a little bit of experience there. Was able to confirm that for us. And boom! The revolver. 6 shots. More than enough to kill anything that moves.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay?
Sorry, I just had a little Metal Gear moment. The standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Fingerprinted. Might have his prints on it. Just for prints. No, fingerprints! I would, but I don't think the censor would allow it. Detective Gumshoe, would you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir! On it now, sir!
I keep going back and forth between saying soy and sir. I need to, like, watch more police dramas to figure out which one is correct.
Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Classic Animaniacs. Did you guys see that they're rebooting Animaniacs? I think I mentioned that on stream already. I saw a little bit. They had a little, like, not footage, but pictures of the new designs. They look pretty. They look modern. I'm not gonna say like I enjoy them because. Here, let me see if I can find them. I just have so much nostalgia. Animaniacs reboot. I just have so much nostalgia for the original designs. I'm very admittedly biased, but I will give the new design a chance. If I can find it. I saw a video. It had like the concept art. Maybe they're not going with it, but they look very like fuzzy and more family friendly. If you know Animaniacs, they weren't always about being family friendly. I just wonder how that'll translate to a modern audience if they're gonna keep that kind of joke. It's pretty much part of their identity. We'll see.
Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. In my noggin. Edgeworth's got that photographic memory.
All right, if you say so.
And I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make it a habit of checking the facts often. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. Bye, Shadowheart. Thanks again for that sub. Have a good night.
As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle.
I mean, with a gun, you probably don't want the angle that can accidentally shoot you. But let's do it.
Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get all nitty gritty.
I'm gonna use the mouse for this one. Check this out. Meow, meow, meow. Pasta la vista, baby. What, I can't examine the barrel? Probably a good idea. One shot is used. I guess that is more than enough to kill anything that moves. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Hey! So, thinking about that, we know that a round was fired when somebody, maybe it's the killer, maybe it's somebody else, snuck up on Edgeworth, ended up shooting the framed suit that he has over there. So why is only one round missing? Does that mean this wasn't used to kill the victim?
Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
If you miss it point blank, you probably know at least something. We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Kind of a small revolver. Real-life revolvers don't have to be that big. But there are definitely some that are huge, and some that are a little small. I don't think it gets to the point where, like, you know, you guys remember Men in Black? Where they had that tiny little pea shooter that ended up knocking Will Smith back because it was so powerful. Oh, speaking of Will Smith, did you guys know that he, like, broke his teeth over the weekend? I thought it was fake at first, but no lie, like 5 of his front teeth just... I don't know the full story, but I, like, saw the pictures, like, oh my goodness. Good thing he's rich. Just get them all fixed. Man, I'm a little jealous. A little jealous. Let's give the body a once-over. There's blood all over the lower abdominal area.
It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot.
Shot! Oh no! Yep. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
Yes, but what about the second autopsy?
What do you mean, second autopsy?
Just so you know, we can update it later, in case we have to, like, bring it to Phoenix Wright in court.
What? Will that happen, sir?
I don't know, but I want to be prepared so I can rub it in his face. You know how I operate, Gumshoe.
Oh, you know what? You're right, sir. I should never have doubted you.
Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. So if you guys have watched my great Ace Attorney playthrough, you'll know that I specifically neglected to give Baroque Van Zeeks this voice, the Edgeworth voice. Because I say this, I specifically was saving it for Edgeworth. Like, he's the only one that deserves to have it, let's not lie. Let's get the money once, well. The thing about Ace Attorney, you pretty much have to, like, click on every single little thing, or else you might miss, like, a pixel that allows you to progress. It's still got a bit of that point-and-click adventure syndrome.
Your file's all over the floor, sir.
They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer.
Aww, and I tried so hard to get this place spotless when you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't ever recall asking you to clean my room.
Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For just about half a day every Saturday, I come in and clean this place until it's sparkled.
Does he have a knife? Edward, don't be mean. He's doing it for you. Yes, but if he so much as bends one accessory on my steel samurai figure. Oh, that thing cost a fortune. I built it myself, don't you know? It's a model kit. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body back to Gem! Oh. Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? This guy looks a little bit familiar. Are you all right? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him just he's just some kind of lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night.
Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal.
Maybe Halloween. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jack Sportsman. Prosecutor. Jack Sportsman. Doesn't ring a bell. PV Gamer, what's up? Good game, new evening. More like new game, good evening. Welcome on in. You haven't missed much. If you're just tuning in, Ace Attorney Investigations. There was a man who was killed in our office, and this guy did it. That's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler because the game shows you that. I'm just kidding. I'm getting you guys up the pace. That's how most Ace Attorney games kind of start out. Not everyone, but most of them outright show you who's the killer. So just to make it kind of easier to make this the tutorial mission, you know? The focus is more on getting you there rather than finding out who exactly did it. But anyway, this guy, he's lying through his teeth. Also, Ploopster of Wisconsin, thanks for the hydrate. What's up? I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir.
So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. It was you! You're the one who killed Jim!
Hey! Don't go jumping around to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not! I know how things work around here. Oh no, New Yorker versus New Yorker. Who's gonna win? High Prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And the owner of this office has the key to her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay?
Gumshoe, no, that's gonna indict you.
So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means.
Gumshoe, it was you all along. I thought I could trust you. So it was you, then! You Jim's killer!
No way, pal! You got it all wrong!
Everyone calm down! So powerful. Oof, I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating, it's really hot. Never played one of these, what's the premise? Ace Attorney. I went over this a little bit, but for those of you just tuning in, Ace Attorney, it's usually a series about this lad, Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney who proves his client's not guilty by figuring out the murder mystery in the middle of the trial. This game follows that same kind of thing, where you're using logic and evidence to put together the facts, find out the truth. But it's outside of the court of law. There are parts of this game that take place in the courtroom, but not during a trial. Usually the game is about investigate outside, and then, once you're prepared for the trial day, then it transitions into a trial segment. This game kind of blends the two phases. It's a bit more natural. I can't say it's better or worse. I do like it a lot, though. That's why I'm really excited to play this game again, and the sequel. So sit back and enjoy. If you know Danganronpa, it's pretty similar. Mr. Postman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. like trading cards, Pokemon. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. Colonel, I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Do not touch that man in any way. Social distance. A pleasure to work with you. Oh, so cold. Edgeworth. I have missed this man so much. Yeah, he appears in some of the later games, but he needs to play more of a part. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. You're a detective and attorney? Gumshoe is a detective. Edgeworth is the attorney. Although, in this series, more often than not, the attorneys do more of the detective work. Like, this is not accurate to any sort of representation of the way law works in, who knows, in any country whatsoever, whether it's Japan or the USA. But they've got a little fantasy world with its own consistent rules for the most part. You like his gloves? I mean, they're pretty nice.
For a murderer?
I just want to say I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there? Sir! Sir! You arm wrestling? I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Well, you just had a camera. Oh, wait. He's taking pictures of the crime scene. Of course he had a camera. I should probably give them some space. I don't trust it. He must be planning evidence of something. He's messing with the scene. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's all right. I feel like I'm interrupting that conversation. Don't let him get to you, Edgeworth. Oh well, no matter what, the truth will be revealed.
Your jacket, sir? What's it doing on the floor?
It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round.
So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
I mean, nothing a tailor couldn't fix. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here.
Huh? Like what?
Like the fact that only one round was fired? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Really?
So yeah. In another game, there's a flashback to Edgeworth's early days. And also, a little bit in this game, but I won't, go too much into it. Where you actually see him wearing that jacket. It's entirely too colorful. I'm glad he toned it down, even though he still wears that ridiculous... What is that called? The roughly ascot thing? I know there's a... Crumpet? No. There's a name for it. I'll think of it in a second. Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him.
Like who, sir?
Nobody. Nobody in particular. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. Sorry, I'm still... I did Twitch things on Monday. I'm still getting used to, regular streaming. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Bullet. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. More mechanics teaching. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. No, touch it harder. Harder. Yes, that's it. Cravat. That's the word. Thank you, Hector. Be a pirate. When asked to wear one of those puffy shirts. I remember when, there were billboards in LA advertising Seinfeld on Netflix, and they just had quotes out of context. I'm like, what is that? Oh, it says Seinfeld, of course. Here's a picture of a giant puffy jacket. This is definitely the jacket of a very flashy, debonair pirate, if there ever was one. Let's take Edward's sprite, where he's wearing this one, and give him an eye patch. Maybe a little parrot on his shoulder, too, but it has Gumshoe's face on it. It would be amazing. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Present! Wait! I should have done the thing. Next time. This bullet hole is the contradiction.
What do you mean, sir?
Eureka! Eureka! He's found it! Oh, Edgeworth's voice lines. Funny thing about the Ace Attorney games on the DS, all the voice lines, the iconic, powerful, like, objection! Or, take that! Those were just recorded by the Capcom localization team, not like professional voice actors. Like, Phoenix Wright is voiced by Sam Riegel in the anime and the later games, but back then it was Ben Judd, just some dude who worked at Capcom. I don't really remember the names of any other voice actors, but yes, right now Edgeworth's Eureka, so iconic, just some dude at Capcom. It's elementary, my dear Gumshoe. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame.
Hey, that's right!
However, this gun was only fired once. Boggs and Chrono, what's up? How you doing well? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the murder mystery.
Hey, that's true too!
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Or maybe they reloaded once. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? They did pretty good for those old voices. I will actually say my personal taste is that the old voices are better. And it's not just to due to the compression of the DS. Because there's interviews. Well, let me see if I can find it. The dude from Capcom. Ooh, my DS is chugging a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. Synchrono, thanks for the follow. Koji Igarashi interview. Like the guy from I don't know. There's been so many interviews. I might not be able to find it anymore. But there's one that was conducted by the old voice actor for Phoenix Wright. And he can still put out a amazing objection. Let me see if I can find it. It was during an interview with Koji Igarashi about the Bloodstain Kickstarter. What if I Die Monster? This might work. Check it out. Right here. This guy right here. That's him right here. Ben Judd.
Oh, this is not going to be a stretch.
This is the voice actor for Phoenix Wright. No, I mean this guy. No, sorry, I don't remember this video. Of course he knows Japanese. He's interviewing Koji Igarashi, telling him to say Die Monster, dude don't belong in this world.
Okay, now say it to everybody in this room individually.
And later on, he just gets in the mood. With the pointing, brings back flashbacks. There.
Objection!
You can still hear.
Objection versus Die Monster. Ready? On 3. And so objection
He still
at the
got
same
it.
time as Die
The
Monster.
Phoenix Wright in his soul.
3、2、1って言って大モンスターって言ってベンが逆転裁判のナロブ君の英語の声優さんやから
And he's telling him that, oh yeah, I voiced Phoenix Wright in the English
同
version.
じタイミングで言うんで
Objection!
Next to each other. Ready? All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
So fun. That's one of the reasons I want to learn Japanese. So I can interview my favorite Japanese game devs. That's a pipe dream, though. Probably, like, that would take me way too long. And also, like, don't know if I'd like to have that job. Just for fun, you know. Tula5, what's up?
Higyari!
That's the Japanese word for objection. Also, Big B Stu, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Synchrono tried this game out, didn't get too far from the tutorial from dropping it. I mean, like, once you get into the main part of the story, it is not very different from a regular Ace Attorney game. Definitely, as with a lot of the Ace Attorney games, the beginning is slower to accommodate for the fact that this may be your first Ace Attorney game. But it ramps up. Anyway, Gumshoe noticed something. Yes?
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Ah, that. It's a secret safe.
It's a secret safe? Oh, I smell money.
Gumshoe, please don't rob your boss just because you want to eat something more than cup noodles. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Is it Edgeworth's secret Steel Samurai figure collection? I bet it is. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way.
Roger that. Talk about dusty.
Gumshoe, cover your mouth. Wear a mask. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. That's, yeah, that makes sense. Gumshoe was the one cleaning. If he didn't know about the safe, he wouldn't be able to clean it. Hope I enjoy this game. Oh yeah, I've played this one before. This is me preparing for Ace Attorney Investigations 2, which I have not played, but I know there's a fan translation out that is apparently amazing, at least to the quality of Capcom's official translations. So, this is me, like, playing something that sets the scene for Ace Attorney Investigations 2, for viewers on the YouTube or on Twitch to, get a feel for the world.
I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir.
I don't know. Maybe this little dusty or lack of dust spot could be pretty good evidence.
So, when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. It's not a secret anymore.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. Shouldn't you just put that in the actual evidence room that has actual evidence lockers?
That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
Secret safe data jotted in my organizer. There is very observant of you, Goku. There is definitely a section that looks like it's been touched recently. Especially since Edgeworth just said he doesn't use it that often. Somebody trying to get in. Synchrono loved Rise from the Ashes. Rise from the Ashes, that extra case on that they added onto Ace Attorney 1. You get mixed feelings from it? I loved it, but I will say it's very long. If you play Ace Attorney 1, it's unfortunate that, it comes after the first game. You'd expect it to be just like the same as any other case. It's basically 3 trials in 1. Treat it as a whole nother game from Ace Attorney 1 that happens to take place right after Ace Attorney 1. Like, it's not necessary to know the rest of the story until at least like Ace Attorney 5, and even then, not really. The whole situation is they added a case onto Ace Attorney 1 after they ported the game to the DS. Because the game was originally on Game Boy Advance in Japan. They went really hard with it. They basically made the longest case ever, where it's a 3-day trial, and each day has its own, like, investigation, its own plot, its own, like, storyline. Very long. Edgeworth will not rest until he's inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. We're gonna be hearing that a lot. Huh? Now, this is odd.
You found something, sir?
This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean?
Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there! the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. It was somebody that knew what they were doing. Secret safe updated. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly play connect the dots with the information we have. What I like about this game that doesn't really, it isn't as clean in other Ace Attorney games is he straight up just tells you, okay, it's time for logic. Like, you got everything you need. It's still up to you to decide what connects to what, but at least you know you're not missing something. They added the case to the Wii U eShop. They added that case to pretty much every re-release of Ace Attorney. It's on the HD trilogy. The one that recently came out on PC, Switch, PS4, I think. But, absolutely. The first 3 games in the Ace Attorney series are amazing. 3 is my favorite out of them, but they're all great. Even 2, which is the weakest, I will say, it's still great. And it does seem to be a general thing where the third case in every Ace Attorney game is just the best. Let's see, another handgun, white fingerprints, signs of a struggle, the killer's goal. Maybe I don't know everything. Files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. All the fingerprints are wiped off. Another handgun. Killer's goal. So the killer's goal, white fingerprints. Assuming it wasn't Edgeworth that opened this safe, maybe the killer was after something in the safe. Let's see. Let's hope connects. Yeah! When that ball of light explodes, you know it was right. Otherwise, it just fizzles out. It's a very nice effect. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe. Unfortunately, he's not the lockpicking lawyer. Seriously, go watch the lockpicking lawyer on YouTube. That guy can get into like any lock, and it's very scary. Making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. YouTube's been recommending me his videos, lockpicking lawyer. He's a lawyer that can pretty much pick any lock. He has like 1 million lockpick sets. And he shows you like, oh yeah, this lock that you're probably using to keep your gun, I opened it with a Lego. Oh, this lock where you keep all your this safe where you keep all your jewelry, take a magnet, it opens. He reveals how insecure like everything that gets sold to you is, and because he's a lawyer, he's very thorough. Very. If only Edgeworth was him. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind his break-in was theft. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. So if you look at this, notice that it changes, as you combine things, it changes my existing knowledge. So sometimes you get several steps before you get things that can actually connect. Was it motive theft? Files are a mess. I'm betting these might connect, but I'm not 100% sure. My idea is the files are a mess. Maybe something important might be missing. Maybe they were looking for information. Oh, yes. That doesn't seem safe. You get that one. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh? You mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Second case is the weakened one. I don't even know which game you're talking about specifically, but I agree. It tends to be that the second case in any Ace Attorney game is pretty weak because it usually is filler. Or at least not related to the main plot. Like, it's not true of every Ace Attorney game, but they follow a kind of general pattern with that. I still enjoy, but definitely they end up being pretty weak. Someone with the talent for lockpicking chose to be a lawyer. Maybe it's to get himself acquitted. Maybe it's to commit crimes. and then just get himself declared not guilty. Oh, he has such power.
Yes, sir. I got a shelf of files like you never seen before. Even a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try. If you watch one of the lockpicking lawyer's videos, like, it's at a point where everyone in the comments is like, oh, this guy doesn't seem that good at picking locks. And then 5 minutes later, cut to the lockpicking lawyer cutting that commenter, picking that commenter's lock to try to get in and teach him a lesson. You're not safe. You're not safe no matter how many locks you're behind.
Why do all good ones always die young?
Oh, Portsman, you're still here.
Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. And all we can do is search for the truth. Be poultry, do crimes. Sounds like a way of life.
And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful places.
You got it. Here,
Let me help. Don't let him help.
So this file goes here and that book goes there.
You sure know a lot about what things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done.
Oh? Now what do these handprints mean? Returning to Ace Attorney 1. I get what you mean. But also the second one, too. Maybe even the third one. Dual Destiny's second case was, out of the entire series, I'm gonna say it, Dual Destinies was my least favorite game. Even less so than game number 2. Just because of how much they scaled everything back. It ended up being entirely too easy. Like, in Ace Attorney, I'm used to, like, the killer being all like, wait, no, this evidence means nothing, because actually, I have an excuse for that, and I have an alibi for this. Ha ha ha. No. In Dual Destinies, it's like, hey, this evidence says it has your fingerprints on the gun, and the killer's like, no! All right then. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf.
And the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. Also, aren't you a detective? Shouldn't you be used to this kind of thing?
But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. Sometimes I pass out and become a crazed serial murderer who uses scissors.
What?
Wait, that's Danganronpa.
Anyway, I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Like this bullet hole right here? Which is a little out of place.
So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
Now I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
Can we get a closer look at any of this? Maybe some of them might not be in the right order. Even after Gumshoe arranged them. I didn't shoot him, the gun did. A perfect alibi. Darn. I guess I can't get this guy declared guilty.
I put them all back just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing.
Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Could be. Now, let's take a closer look. If the person was killed, then the blood splatter should theoretically match up with like where everything was. Maybe like somebody moved a file and the blood splatter happened and then they put it back. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Let's examine it a little further then. You're waiting for someone in these games to use the Twinkie defense. Which one is that? Is that like the Chewbacca defense? If Chewbacca lives on Endor, you must acquit! If the Twinkie is not stale, you must acquit. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot.
Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. And here I thought it was just that time of the month.
Gumshoe.
What?
would be the logical conclusion. There's nothing of interest here. You don't know. Handprints.
The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot.
So I'm guessing if he was shot in the stomach, he grabbed his own stomach, then he reeled back and had to support himself on the shelves.
There are prints on the floor, too.
Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. So if he was standing, why is the gunshot here? That's a bit of a... interesting. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Let's see. Let me double check the evidence. Organizer. Does any of this say that he was standing first? Well, when I click to the victim's abdomen, I bet it's this. And let's make use of a fun little feature of the Nintendo DS, the microphone. Check this out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Eureka! 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 Chat, look away. This is the microphone. Da 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 da. Eureka! Eureka? Eureka? I didn't even make sure this worked before the game started. Hold on, I want to make sure this works. Da 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 da. Can I even configure this? Microphone settings. Eureka! Eureka! Whoa, it works! I'll set it up next time. There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
What do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. No, that's too low. Your Nintendo microphone trademark seems to be faulty. Dang, I guess I should send it back into Nintendo for repair. They still fix DSs, I believe. I think until pretty recently they were still fixing NESs. They stopped now, but it was like 2000 and something, which surprised me. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
Why would he be sitting after he got shot, or before he got shot? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means we got a raid from Liddy Button. Lydia, thanks for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. Hello, how are you doing? Domination Nathan, Claustrun, Lydia, Tire Man. Welcome on in. What's it going? Can we get a shout out for Liddy Button? Hope you're doing good. Hello, Bop. Welcome on in, Claustrun. Thanks for giving us something, Lydia. Welcome to the chicken coop. Grab a nest, get comfy. My name is Miles Edgeworth. Actually, my name is Chris, and I play a lot of RPGs, Nintendo games, and right now I'm playing a visual novel crime investigation game. I'm not gonna explain what Ace Attorney is all about, but you've probably heard of it. Yeah, how was your stream? How's it going? Let me give you that shout out myself. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. How was the stream? How is everybody? Guys, follow Lydia. She's pretty cool. Friend of me and Harris's, and very nice, very good streamer. I'm about to go playing Makers of Crafting. What were you making? Were you making a crime scene? Hopefully not. I'm gonna have to investigate it. But yeah, this game, it's pretty good. And if you don't know what I do on the stream, here's a little preview. It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. Ooh. Sad. Sad? Sad. Sad. There you go. Amy, thanks for the hydrate. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body. No, that seems about right. I think maybe the files were on the upper shelf. I believe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh?
Yeah. You see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0?
What are those?
What are those doing all the way down here after the 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. But they switched the labels! Wow. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube by sticking all the stickers. Raise your hand if you've ever done that in your life. Lydia certainly wasn't murdering folks, just making some crowns. Like Fall Guy crowns? Oh, that's a way to get those dubs. Nice. I hope they came out pretty well. I would love to see pictures, Lydia. Yeah! Hope you're doing good, by the way, on this fine evening, this fine night. What's everybody up to tonight? Right now, right here, right now. Doing good? Not you. Oh. You saw the Rubik's Cube once before you learned how to solve it. Real big brain move? Figuring out how to dislodge the pieces of the Rubik's Cube. Like, if you get a little knife, hopefully a dull one, and pry at an edge piece, not a corner, but like an edge, then you can dislodge it and then slide the other pieces out of the way, and then before long you have a completely different kind of puzzle. How to put the Rubik's Cube back together when all the little pieces fall off the core. I did that to find out how a Rubik's Cube worked, but then from then on it became my way to solve Rubik's Cubes, because it's pretty fun. Now you know I like to build Gundam models. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are in order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. So that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. So you're saying that maybe, at some point, the files were arranged like this because somebody else snooped through the room?
Do you think it'll be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved?
They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. I guess okay. Oh, Edgeworth. Oh, Edgeworth. He makes his own authority. If you please, Detective Gumshoe, you do it so that if somebody gets in trouble, it's not me. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it logically should be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith.
And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess.
Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim.
But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Mama just killed a man. I should sing that next time I do Twitch Sings. Absolutely. Puzzling indeed. Rex says, fun fact, there's an algorithm of turns on the cube that consistently solves it. You know, I think, yeah, I've looked that up before. It was either in an actual manual that came with a Rubik's Cube I had as a kid, or I looked it up at some point. There's a certain way you can turn the cubes. And as long as you keep doing it, eventually the cube comes into place. It's really cool. If you really are stumped, you can make people think you know what you're doing. Yeah. And the files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime. But why? But why male models? General strategy for solving a Rubik's Cube, by the way. You might think you want to solve it side by side, but actually you want to do it layer by layer. So it's slightly different. Like, you'll start with one layer, which is effectively a side, but also the beginnings of the sides around it. It's one fallacy that a beginner Rubik's Cube solver might have. They might think like, oh, this side is done, I should try not to touch it. When in reality, like, you're gonna have to move them around if the sides touching the side you solved are not right, then you haven't really solved it. I had like a whole booklet about Rubik's Cube strategies as a kid, just because it fascinated me so. I was never any good at solving them, but it was pretty cool. Now remember, I'm colorblind. Vandavoos? Well, Ben, what's up? It's been a while. How you doing, man? Welcome on in. Welcome to the crime scene drama. Hope you're doing good. It's been a while. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome back to the Chicken Coop. Grab a nest, get comfy, and enjoy the emotes. Hope you've been well. Wow, you've been playing any Fall Guys? Hope you've been doing good. We're investigating a crime scene, and this guy got shot in the stomach, so that's pretty oof, I will say. Now, the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Now let's see what we got here. What's this? 205? This...
Kare? Nani? What is that?
Gumshoe?
Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say it was some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed.
No! There's gotta be some mistake.
Yeah, I don't believe it was him. But what's going on?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen. Good day, good to see you. Good to see you too. I'm glad you're, okay. I'm glad that, you haven't dropped off the face of the planet, especially in these times. Been playing a lot of games, sir, while we were away. Opinions on L.A. Noire. I've never finished it, but I do like it. Especially what they did with, like, the lying system. I'm absolute ass at it. But it's pretty interesting, and plus, I get to pretend I'm in L.A. in the 40s. I live in L.A. now, so the difference is mind-boggling.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? Edgeworth knows there's absolutely no possibility that Gumshoe is the actual killer. He knows this is planted. Gumshoe's faith of character, never in question. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of the killer in the end. And this is the most important message managed to reach us. I don't trust any of this, you know. First of all, we know that Portsman killed him, and he had access to the crime scene. Don't trust, doubt, F to doubt.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's voids? They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? His crocodile tears won't work on me. It's not very effective. If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. Who's framing Gumshoe? Why, I oughta. He gets the bullet. Bang, bang. You got it. He misspelled Portsman as Gumshoe. He got the wrong legally involved person. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. Also, we got a nice little investigation complete. Very anime. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you trying to do?
What I always do in court. I'm going to update the autopsy report. I'm going to cross-examine him. You never do that in court, Edgeworth. That's Phoenix. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Might as well. Tutorial. Alright. First, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news.
But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in the testimony every time, right?
Lies beget more lies. Correct, and at those times, I need to press the witness by touching the press button, or by pressing the touch button, one of those. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony.
I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too.
He never does. Oh, I would love if there was a third investigations game starring just Gumshoe. And it would justify a decrease in difficulty. No, that's mean. No, it would be Gumshoe's actual rise to being an amazing detective. Very well, I'll even show you how it's done. Now, watch carefully. It was a call for help. He knew Gumshoe was the only one who could help him. Oh, that's depressing. Mr. Portsman logic. So this is basically testimony. If you've played any other Ace Attorney game, this is exactly like it. Listen to the music, though. I like it. Maybe Edgeworth cross-examines in other cases. Possibly where Phoenix isn't actually a present. Especially now that he's actually geared towards finding the truth. Oh, edgy boy. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Shouldn't the gun have like a serial number that they can actually tie to him? We're still just like assuming that the gun is owned by him. I don't doubt it, but who knows? Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft instead. Wouldn't? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. That doesn't address the missing file, and also... doubt. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? Yeah, it was his Vienna sausage. You're a hero, how'd you get in here? I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Huh. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Very confident posing. But Mr. Portsman, Edgeworth was just like shuffling around very confidently. Mr. Portsman logic. So this is the same thing that he said. And just like every other Ace Attorney game, we press the press button. So let's see, which one of these is the most suspicious besides the entire thing? Da-da-da-da-da. Let's press this one first. I might just press everything, because that's the surefire way to know you got it. But sometimes, you know, I like to test my luck. Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yep, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. It looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. And I had to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Let me double check what we have. Silly witness! Everyone in this universe writes the name of the innocent with their dying breath. And their left hand, or right hand. It varies. Everybody is right-handed unless they're left-handed. In this game, apparently. Or rather, everyone's left... It's a thing. What's up, Kamen Rider? How you doing? Welcome to the first, case in this game. It's more of a tutorial. But, boy oh boy, does it have every hallmark of an Ace Attorney game. One of the files was stolen. Now, okay, let me see. Which one would... Let's see, 0F, 0G? It would be 0H. H, huh? Not sure if that's important, but... Only one shot fired. Bullet went cream to the victim's admin. Body found at 2:05 a.m. Each prosecutor has one of these. Okay. Let's do a little bit more pressing.
Hold it!
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Why? Anyway... But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? If Edgeworth was British, he'd say, why do you think he didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Ouch.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Gummy! He's trying his best.
Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing Spike. More volleyball. He is just Kamoshida. So I'm assuming it's something to do with this, but which piece of evidence, huh? Da-no, ba-ba-no. Ba-no, ba-ba, ba-ba-no, ba-no. So the body fell, but the bullet hole was there, like after the files were messed up. They used to be up on the shelf. So what's going on? How did that work? Let's see, which one of these pieces of evidence tells that? At the time, it was not actually there. I'd say it's either stolen file or crime scene notes. That's not it. The music didn't stop. I must object to your line of logic. And which part do you have an objection to? It's, yes, well...
Stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're no good when you're all flustered.
Or when a chicken's controlling you, apparently. The detective's right for a change. How did it come to this? Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through a bit more rationally. Failure. Chris is one of the best voice acting streamers ever. Well, Nahiko, thank you, but you don't have to lie. Also, Soul Sapphire, what's up? How you doing? I have nothing better to do. Same. Welcome to the stream. You're like my voice acting. Well, thank you. That's what we do here. That's what we do. And definitely the Ace Attorney series is one where I absolutely pride myself on because I love it. Oops. Now, let's see. Let me press a little bit more to make sure I'm not missing something. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? It's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. That's the wrong voice.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
It's not just a joke, it's true. What thing? What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And a motive, no? What a motive. Ba, 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 no, ba, no. Oops. That's also not it. Let's make sure we press everything, just in case. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Huh? What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim? When clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Yeah. I'm thinking too far ahead. Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jack and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam?
But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Well, Jack's buddy just sounds off somehow. Sounds more like a buddy cop movie to me. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Do you have a habit of losing partners? Huh. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Let's see. He probably did notice. Because if he stole a file, if the file was missing, then he'd notice afterwards. There's that head shake. Never mind that I got it wrong twice in a row first. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another, closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? It's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. Files on that shelf are all about a certain case. The killer went to take the file after murdering your partner. I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters littered on the spines.
Objection!
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. No, let me just write this name here and leave a very clear gap. Just to make it look like it went into place. They'll never expect it. The missing letters in the detective's name with the file should be his proof.
Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half an H.
I would love to see the graphics for, like, the Japanese version. The thing about Gumshoe's name in that game is, like, in that version of the game is, like, it's really hard to remember because it's, like, it's a very unique name. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that he could overlook his own name written in the blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Look at the recoil on that guy.
Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so... I can't believe the criminal tried to pin up this whole thing on me, sir.
At least they didn't try to pin it on Maya. She's not even here. You gotta love that suspicious chicken looking around. What's up, Sleepy Memories? How you doing? Welcome on in. We're about to expose this man. Speaking of exposure, I forgot to set this stream to not mature. I should probably do that. There is murder, and I think some of the games in the series is rated M. But let's put it back. I put it on for Twitch Sings, but right now we PG-13 mode. The suspicious chicken. That's a little callback to when I streamed Daigakuten Saiban. Oops, I forgot to answer. Somebody asked. And I totally did not actually say the answer out loud. Somebody asked if I ever played The Great Ace Attorney or Daigakuten Saiban. I have. I streamed it. I put it up on YouTube, and it is one of the most watched. It is the most watched series on my YouTube channel. I loved it. It was amazing. It's the itch. It satisfies the itch for complicated but also well-written Ace Attorney game that Ace Attorney 5 just totally missed. 6 kind of got for me. But like as a follow-up to, say, Ace Attorney the trilogy and 4, Great Ace Attorney just fits in difficulty-wise just perfectly, like ramped up.
I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some, you lose some. That's how life goes.
Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. Hey? Did he come up with a lie that fast? At least it's not like Ace Attorney 5 where he would have already given up.
But what is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But, Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
Whoa, where'd you get the jacket, dude? He put it on just to take it off. This guy is entirely too flashy. Like a Yakuza, dude. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Because this is an Ace Attorney gang, pal. Excuse me? Calm down. Is it hot or is it cold? Well, I was thinking, did you know that there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Who? Whoa. That is the jacket he was holding. I thought he was holding like a towel or something. Hey, you there? Spiffy-sama, if you want to call him that. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? Who? A lady? The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Wait. Is it Maggie? Please tell me it's Maggie. Oh, Maggie and Gumshoe. I really look at Gumshoe's sprite. Mouth agape. Look at the chin on this lad. I wish I could zoom in. Maybe I can? No, that doesn't work.
Security. Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? He knows. Maggie Bird, Gumshoe's love interest? Is it? Yeah, it's her. That's her. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Oh, no. What did you get yourself involved with this time, Maggie? My gosh. What, you don't violently flap your jacket around when you reveal information to people? I don't, because that would be a very obvious tell. I've got other tells. Also, Thank Twig, what's up? You gotta play more of the trilogy. You're on the 4th case of the first game. Oh, absolutely. I will warn you that case 5 is really long. So if you want, you could start playing games 2 and 3. But I'm glad that you're enjoying the games. They're really good. Mostly because case 5 of game 1 was added after the fact, so it's canon, but it's not necessary right away. Da-da-da-da-da. You can't be the only one that flaps their jacket. What if Gumshoe faked the fear of blood for 40 years and like 5 games? Now. You don't tell me he's the actual killer. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Commenters writing my great watching my great Ace Attorney videos when you had to take the train to work. I was gonna ask why you stopped, but I figured it out. Yeah, well, I recommend catching up on those because fantastic game. Actually fantastic. I can't wait to play the next game. I know the first 2 cases are out, but only on like the 3DS version. I will definitely, I told myself I'll wait for the Android version to come out so I can make the videos all nice and HD. She's adorable. Oh, Harish, Maggie Bird is a treasure. A treasure, I say. Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie. I knew we'd meet again, but not like this.
I kind of expected it, sir. We do work together.
Oh yeah.
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could have very well used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. That's a security flaw. It's a master key. Although, it's probably there for a reason. Harris is eating. What are you eating? Something good? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? Never sneak into someone's room.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it.
Gumshoe, don't let your heart get in the way of your brain? Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
No, we can figure out what actually happened. Gumshoe, please stop, just stop talking. Stop talking. Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. How many more times? Okay, one more time. How many more times is he gonna flap his jacket? Oh, it's his idle animation. I'm just gonna leave it. Wait, is he gonna start flying? He's gonna take off the more he flaps? How could Maggie do such a horrible crime? Oh no, if it's not Maya, it's Maggie, dude. You didn't like Edgeworth after the 2nd case, but you're really starting to like him after the 3rd, so you want to play more. Oh, absolutely. At the very least, finish Ace Attorney 1. Because that's basically Edward's character arc. But the Ace Attorney games do one thing great that a lot of animes don't, and that is keep a character relevant after their character arc. Like, Edgeworth is still in Ace Attorney 2 and 3. It comes by every now and then. He's not overused, he's not in the background, he's still relevant, you know? But most of his change of character is in Ace Attorney 1. It's really good. It's really well written. Flap, flap. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Eyes. Reason for suspicion. He's trying to get it off, but it's stuck. This man is now extremely punchable. Now? He's been. It's pretty obvious that Miss Boyd stalked into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe wasn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Boyd as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows a good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying that she used the master key? Type evidence received from Miss Maggie Bird. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? And that's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. Is he still doing volleyball or is he talking about tennis now? It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portman to give me more details is to press him. Press him hard. Alright, so my first inclination, probably somebody stole the key from her. Ba-no, ba-ba-no, da-no, ba-ba-no. Let's see. Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying that there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, there's another lawyer at this precinct who could open it easily. The lock-picking lawyer. Just get that pick in there. Yeah, click on 1. 2's binding. Just let me apply more attention, and we're in. Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest to someone like you would. On top of which, she knows a good detective, doesn't she? I fail to see how that's relevant. So we know we're gonna have to press something. If one of these statements gives me more information, we'll know that's the one to contradict. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? He's famous, or at least infamous. You know, like that time he lent out a dog-named missile to Phoenix Wright? That was fun times. Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors.
Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir.
We're holding a collective breath, you know. But when you screw up so badly that you literally chase out the force.
Oh, wait. Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there.
Edgeworth, why did you hesitate? Oh no, it's true.
Hold it!
Portsman is the lock-picking lawyer. He's a lawyer. You're right. You're right. Oh no. Well, easy. We found him, lads. Guilty of picking all the locks. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence.
I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying, and press him for more information.
Hold it!
One of these is probably gonna bring up the possibility that someone else took the key from her. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person in staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Boyd?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. They ain't wasting time. Huh. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Always? Pro tip: when you play Ace Attorney, if the character asks, should I ask for more information? Always say yes. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. I just say it'd be a waste of time. We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir? The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe that this must be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm saying, sir.
Objection!
He has an objection sound clip. It sucks. This guy would... I want to see this guy in court. Not just because he's a lawyer, but also because he's guilty. If that's the case, then I'd like to know. You have the master key now.
But no, it just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
A likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I would assume you probably have security cameras watching it. And if not, then I'd say that this is a good opportunity to install some. I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that.
Well, besides the time that she lost faith in herself after Phoenix Wright lost his memory, that's more of Mr. What's his name? Beef Wellington? Mr. Wellington's fault.
With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is.
Gumshoe, what did you get to the right side? Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Motive? Didn't we already establish it was theft? I'm about to steal that jacket off your back if you don't stop playing with it. You're making it... The act of putting on a jacket makes it feel like it's too hot in here. Or maybe the fact that it's, 90-something degrees? Heat wave. I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Postman says, Detective. How did you know about the safe, though? I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. How hot is it in my room? Pretty hot, because not only is it a heat wave, but I have to close all my windows during stream, or else I might get a noise complaint. I haven't gotten one, but I don't want to risk it. And also, I have to keep the computer on, which runs hot as well. Especially, I mentioned before, I have RTX voice on. So it's taken a bit of GPU power, so my GPU is always running. I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. The sword of truth shall cut through your measly armor of lies. Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. But how do you know about the safe, though?
Objection!
I mean, he is a prosecutor. The prosecutors know about the safes. But how did you know about the safe when it was covered up by the painting and it hadn't been moved? Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of a cunning plan. Maggie would definitely not know about it. That's the point. But she could have found it by accident when she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted.
Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Your words, not me, but you're making it a lot easier. Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Look at his face. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Stress. Monka-S dude. That's him. He is the emote.
Kaises?
What made you?
What's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret saves. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable, conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
Then that means...
Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. And I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now you're gonna place the blame on your so-called... This is Ace Attorney, man. This is Ace Attorney. Every time the killer gets caught in a lie, they just shift it, like, immediately to someone else. As much as a ridiculous claim it could possibly be. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And he was simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Boyd. Excuse me? Oh, I see what he's getting at. He's gonna claim that she shot him. I mean, you are the security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Please take away your gun, because with her luck, she might accidentally discharge it.
Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have had a key to the office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be with us unless... Just kidding, unless. Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Man, that must be an important key. Maybe a keyblade? Got it memorized? Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Apparently not. He left that in his other jacket. He finally got it unstuck. It's stuck again, dude. Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? This is my office, dude!
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. Says who? Says me. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. What about you?
Listen, pal. How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But sir...
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued! Right now. Sure, why not? We gotta finish at least the first case. Save clear data? Yes, please. Intermission. Grab a snack. Although it's only gonna take like 5 seconds while we save. Maybe? Saving a lot of data? Pokemon Diamond Pearl? This song. I'll tell you what, this song is constantly just stuck in my head anytime I'm trying to think. Anytime I'm just like silent on a stream while I'm solving Paper Mario rotations or whatever. This is just like,
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm gonna be broiled if it gets any hotter though. I mean, sure, at least everybody can feast on my chicken flesh. Oh boy. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Oh wait, yeah, we're doing this right after the body got discovered, basically. How much sleep has Edgeworth gotten? If it were me, I'd still be awake. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway.
What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir.
Keep down the crime scene, sir.
True. So then what now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway.
Eh? Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. We really doing this. We're having an investigation just in a hallway. Let's do it. Ball! Hoop! Is this professional? There's a freaking basketball hoop in the middle of the hallway. Oh, I'm guessing Mr. Sportsman is right next to us. Same, right next to us in terms of office location. What is a basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. I mean, if somebody's throwing balls in the hallway, then you best be playing dodgeball. Get out of the way. Also, Fozzie Bear, what's up? How you doing? Welcome on in. Hector's heading off to bed. Well, have a good night. Thanks for coming on by. Sleep well, okay? Mr. Payne. Ah, yes, because we know Mr. Payne is all about basketball. He'll be feeling the pain if he doesn't dodge. How does that thing fit in the hallway? It looks like one of those portable basketball hoops. My neighbor had one when we were kids. We would play basketball in his driveway all the time. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. Being the cross-examination, Miles Edgeworth. Calm down, Bird. Gumshoe is your husbando. Don't let Edgeworth's musky aura seduce you.
Seduce me!
How prized is the basketball if he leaves it laying around a hallway? You know what? True. It may be valuable, but not very prized. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her through the present button. Through the present button! I'm going to give her a present. It's my badge. As is Ace Attorney tradition, show it to everybody. That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor. So unlike Phoenix Wright's little flowery sunflower badge, this is like a different kind of flower. I forget what they represent, but these are the actual badges used by the Japanese law system. And the different types of flowers represent something. Maybe the sunflower badge represents a ray of hope. I do have a replica of Phoenix Wright's badge. It's on like a little cork board where I keep a lot of pins and stuff from conventions. It's right there. It's very nice. It's from fangamer.com. Fozzie Bear is doing good, relaxing on your day off. Back to the ground, another 5 in the row for it. Ah, yes. Dude, you've been overworked. You deserve a break. I'm glad that the stream can at least provide a little bit of respite. At least I hope.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe. Wait, can I present my badge to Gumshoe?
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on? Just for a little bit?
I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you? She'd probably, like, stab herself with it. Oof.
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on the same level. It hurts. It hurts. She's baby. She's baby, dude. Don't bully. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
That sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with them.
You know, why was Edgeworth surprised to see the basketball hoop here if this is next to his office and probably always has been? Unless Portsman was like a recently appointed to this office location.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was passing the ball, sir.
Everyone, pass the ball.
To Tucker. Excellent pass to Tucker.
On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in with all that well with them.
What about Maggie herself? No bully. Honestly, I'm a little bit sad I wasn't able to play, you know, the rest of the series before this. I mean, I could have. But still, you ever notice that Edgeworth's hand is huge? Like compare that to the size of his face. Like if he did that thing on the playground where you're like, oh, put your hand in front of your face, and then they just slap his hand into it. Like he would just grab his entire head. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance with the detective. Oh, you know what? There's a term for that kind of hand in anime, but I don't know if I could say it.
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir.
The voice?
The force. One day she got caught up in a murder, and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures.
Hey?
Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building.
To what, the ground floor? Oh my god, how are you alive?
I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick by all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. If anything, I'd call her lucky for surviving all of it. Bad luck, good luck. Bad luck, good luck. His hand is further in the foreground. Maybe it's an optical illusion. You know, I think the thing is, Edgeworth's sprite is based off his courtroom sprite. Like, it's meant for this angle. Look at this. Like, it's the same kind of thing I had on the starting screen. So you see, like, with the angle of the desk and the background, it makes sense that his hand would be further into the foreground because it's like he's slightly reaching into the third dimension. But the thing is, they drew every other sprite in this game. Oops. Hey, wait, stop that. Stop that. No. Every other sprite in this game is kind of, well, Maggie's sprite is based off her sprite in the regular games, but kind of turned around a bit. It's just kind of funny that, as an artist, I recognize these kinds of things. It's one of the things you have to watch out for. Even though, like, you draw everything as far as you can tell, like, perfectly and correctly, if they don't, like, look consistent with each other, some things are gonna look off. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. What is she made of? Apparently Nintendium. She's made of the same stuff that Nintendo Entertainment Systems are made out of. Lego.
I know, and just when I thought I finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Oh, I can't say no to those eyes. They sparkle. She's straight up Sailor Moonin'. Sailor Moon levels up. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Is she just gonna stay like that? Okay, good. It is kind of funny in the regular Ace Attorney games where, you know, even the interrogations are in first person. They kind of keep their sprite based on whatever's the last thing they said. So she would have been ooh-ooing until I said something else. What is a basketball hoop doing here?
Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently.
Drag it?
I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the guy had to bring it himself.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I hope by elevator, not up the stairs. Oh. That's what you guys mean. Winston Payne's just right there. Why? You can recognize him from a mile away. You know, you do know you can collapse those things. All the way up to the 12th floor? These things come apart. My goodness. Gumshoe, it wasn't you that brought it up here, was it? This office.
1203. Hey, Maggie. Whose room was this again?
It's Mr. Portsmouth, sir. So, he's my new neighbor. I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Maggie's bad luck is the funniest thing they do in the series. If you think Maggie's luck is bad, think about Phoenix's luck. He also gets hit by a car at some point and lives, falls from a burning bridge. That man is also made out of the same material. Phoenix and Maggie, both named after birds, probably long-lost cousins or something. Is everything all right? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Not what I asked for. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice. Stay focused or you might start to lose even more weight. On the instant noodle diet. Budget cuts, salary cut. I'd imagine just Edgeworth walks around with a little, like, gun that shoots out salary cuts to every officer he passes by. He's the kind of person to have that kind of authority.
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly. Post haste!
Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. Oh, it pays off to pay attention to the little sprites. Even though they may be smaller, they've still got plenty of emotion. The Edgeworth bow, one of his most famous poses. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Okay, bully him. He deserves it. Mr. Payne. I feel pain for that one. Now, let's see. Let's actually show Maggie the thing that'll advance the plot. Key. Wait, we have to talk to her first. So, when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir? And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. After the murder. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Logic. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? Oh, it's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that it was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sorta using it at the time. Let me guess, you forgot the key to your own room. Whatever office that is, and you had to use it. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. So it's Maggie! No! She used the master key? Well then, maybe we can ask her a little more about that. Hey, cup noodles are good. They're good, they're cheap, they're nutritious? Hey, just add an egg and they certainly got a lot of protein. Exactly 1 egg's worth. Nintendo Novice, what's up? It's been forever since you've been on the stream. I'm sure. I remember you pop it in every now and then. I mean, no trouble at all. Don't even worry about it. How you doing, dude? Were you playing a little more Bug Fables today? No, I think you were playing Origami King. Yeah. I hope you had fun with it. Yeah, definitely. It feels like forever since I finished it, but I still am definitely enjoying people playing it every now and then. It's good. It's a great game. I recommend it. I recommend it. As long as you're open-minded enough to accept that it's not Thousand Year Door. Like, it absolutely is worthy of carrying the Paper Mario meme. And I don't say that lightly. Yeah, hope you're doing well, sir. What did you mean by you use the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key.
Which prosecutor? Was it Jack Portman?
I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Nice hat.
Oh, it looks cute on her, but... What is it?
That's right! I just remembered! The prosecutor who forgot his key! It was Mr. Portsman, sir!
What? What? Please tell me more, Mr. Bird, quickly. Here we go. This is probably what happened. Mr. Portsman used to be located here, but he requested to move while Edgeworth was away. And because of that, he was able to swap the door plates around, maybe, in order to fool Miss Bird into thinking that he was just trying to get back into his office, but actually it was Edgeworth's. Hey, and that's how he was able to commit the murder.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so we came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him?
Wait, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see.
And then? What happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. I see. To unlock it, then lock it. Were those feathers on her before, or are you just blind? She wasn't wearing the hat before, that's the thing.
Talk about suspicious.
I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. I think so too. No signs of entry, which probably means he dragged this little thing, the basketball hoop, all the way to this side to make it look like it was his room. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I should make that my new catchphrase, dude. You just finished... I see, novice. Well, I actually am tempted to go back and watch your VOD because... Yeah. Because, yeah. I hope you're doing okay, sir, after that. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office?
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd?
I don't think so.
Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Bah! Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Because probably there was something in the safe that he wanted. But because Edgeworth had the room, he had to come up with this silly plot. Room 1203. Oops. Let's go. Anything about the door? The door is locked tight.
I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes. This calls for a bit of a more particular measure. Let's see, what kind of lock is this? Simple wafer key. Clearly. I know a YouTuber that would be able to pick this in seconds. This is the office of a high prosecutor detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar can get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Oh, burn! What a friendship that Edgeworth and Gumshoe have, dude. Probably. They have to really know that it's all in jest. For all we know, Gumshoe is smiling at that little quip with the biggest grin. The biggest Gumshoe grin. His eyebrows, like, undulating back and forth. You know the one. A minimalist, yes, classy door made of top quality wood.
It's kind of majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he has works behind one of these.
I bet on the inside it's like a gym, complete with lockers, maybe a little, like 7 punching bags. Not even a desk, dude, just a treadmill. Nonsense, a man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. He's not the janitor, dude! Is that what Edgeworth thinks his job is? Can I... Let's see. Maybe if I... Nope. Let's see what else I'm missing. Yeah, because the game usually tells you when you're done with an area.
It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop.
I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
But it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get into your office since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? Don't even ask. Don't ask questions you're not prepared for the answer to, Mr. Edgeworth. Room 1203. Or Mr. Payne. Even in universe, just the butt of so many jokes. It's gotta be somebody. When it's not Phoenix, it's certainly not gonna be Mr. Edgeworth. It's only Edgeworth when I'm the one controlling him, dude. All other times, he's perfectly competent. I want to make sure I'm not missing something with the door itself. Maybe the door jam? Because it seems a little odd that they haven't added any new evidence or anything. I don't have the deuce option on here. Maybe the lock? What happens if I back out? Maybe I am done? No. Let's tap the partner button. I haven't been using it.
Yes, sir.
Anything of interest? Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share?
Oh, it's nothing. But I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. In the detective in the Sunday night drama, all my cops is named Jim too.
So in other words, nothing important.
I bet one of them is a big fan of that show.
You seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too.
Of course, the tight bond of friendship between the prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have.
Friendship, detective? I believe you're mistaking it with pity.
There you go, Mr. Edgeworth. Always the joker. Can you say that, sir? And after all we've been through, too.
Oh, I feel bad now. I can't believe. Wait, of course this game would have a make a Gumshoe sad option. Jeez, bruh moment. Dame the name moment, dude. I sing for you. I weep for you. Shibudadoo, budoo. Let me see if there's anything new in Maggie, or else I'll look back at the door again. Poor Gumshoe. M. Draco, what's up? It's been a while. Yeah, welcome to Ace Attorney Investigations. We're currently investigating, and I am the Ace Attorney. Hopefully. We're currently wrapped up in a case where somebody was murdered in my office, and they're trying to pin it on me, my partner, and everybody involved, except for the, the actual killer. We gotta search for clues, dude. Split up, gang. Let's see if there's anything new in my logic. Use the master key. Master key was stolen. This will probably look... yeah, this lines up.
The thing with this game specifically is sometimes the game won't advance until you've connected at least some of the dots you have. The game doesn't like outright say it, but like, yeah, sometimes you won't notice something about a door until then. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. Ooh, Gumshoe's rubbing off on her. I mean, what? You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. By that mass of chickens over there. What? What? Oh my god, Mr. Edgeworth, watch out! Oh no, I'm fine. I'm wearing my anti-chicken cravat. You, however... You seem to have gotten lucky. M. Draco, thanks for the chicken attack. However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a... I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. Not even a contradiction, that's just putting together the dots. You're right. It was around that very time I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master keys, could I? Probably, because it's a life or death. It's a matter of life or death whether the wrong person gets accused of murder. So, I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Oh. Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Hey? So, if the key was stolen before the murder, maybe it was not Jim, Buddy Faith that stole the key. Opened it, Maggie went to open the door, and it turns out, she's like, oh, it's open, good. And she pretended to lock it up. That's funny. So if the door was never locked, then it should be unlocked now, but the door was locked tight.
I bet the old credit card trick won't work here.
But, wait a minute. So, if I deduce right now, notice that now I do have that button. So it was never locked. Is it locked now? There's a contradiction here between reality and evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Because it was actually my office that got opened. You know, that's already been my reality in my mind. I forgot we weren't supposed to know that.
Huh? You know, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure that you didn't relock this door? Are you certain of it, sir? And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means... what, sir?
It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one.
She opened a different door? But how can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... think with our brains! We need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on the doorknob, prints on the number plate. I'd say prints on the doorknob, because if Maggie, grabbed it to open it, her print should be on there, right? Anti-tricking cravat. That's how it works. It's to make him more chicken-like himself. The fluffiness, the feathers. It makes all the other chickens think that he's one of them. Thanks, I like that. Or seen the playthrough, or read a wiki in the story. This game holds a special place in your heart. You've never played it or seen it or read a wiki. Is the special place that you know nothing about it? Hey, as I said before, it absolutely holds a place alongside the original trilogy. Like, the fact that it takes place kind of alongside them too has almost nothing to do with it, because this story is almost completely self-contained. But it's just that style of investigating, you know?
The style of contradicting witnesses and whatnot. It's exactly where I think Ace Attorney needs to be difficulty-wise. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything.
Hey, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay?
Oh, he's talking to the forensic investigator.
So, what did you find out?
There's no need for such a belligerent nostril-flaring detective, although it does make you look like Bald Bull from Super Punch-Out. Very intimidating. Use it next time you're interrogating a suspect. Sir, I found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Fate's prints on this doorknob. So the only two people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. Not Maggie's.
Huh? I'm lost, sir.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Oh, don't call it a knob with a British accent. Fake British accent. Maggie's. Don't you find it odd the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? Oh, it made you find out something about yourself, huh? Because of Edgeworth? Feeling Edgeworth makes a lot of people feel things about themselves. I mean, he's Edgeworth. Look at him. Look at how confident this man is. Sleepy, thanks for the hydrate. I did need it. Knob, yes. Get your hand all over that knob. Leave your prints on it. What?
You mean?
Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Mr. Portman's office updated in my organizer. Although since Edgeworth clearly opened the door to his own office, who knows if dusting that for prints would lead to revealing Maggie's prints? What have we here? Hey? I'm gonna rest until I've the nook and cranny. Basketball. That's the first thing I go to, not the clearly obvious corner of paper, no. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match.
Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Like he even just uses the same ball for all of them.
That's impressive. I have tried to hit a basketball with a tennis racket. It does not work very well.
Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball.
Alright, shaking my head. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective.
You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Hey, Mr. Portsman, someone should teach him to clean his toys out after he's done playing. Imagine if this was Lego, I could have stepped on it.
I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Wait until we see a ladder. You challenged me to a card game. What do you mean? Card games and motorcycles, now card games in the courtroom? You know what? I could believe that. Next season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GS! Gyakuten Saiban. Not so fast, Edgeworth! You've activated my trap card! An updated Autopsy report!
What?
I'll use this to attack the witness's testimony directly! Beep. The duel is now over. Not guilty! Anyway, what is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, see. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it.
Buddy, I brought the 3 pieces of evidence, Spy, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Buddy. Huh? Interesting. It looks like a note from the victim.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman.
No, victim. Look up the definition of himbo in the dictionary, and it's a picture of Gumshoe. I mean, probably not wrong. The things he'll do for Maggie, dude. The things he'll do for Edgeworth, dude. There's a little comic that I saw that I absolutely love that it characterizes Gumshoe so well. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's official. Gumshoe comic confetti. Wait. Yeah. Let's see. I think this was officially from some Capcom art book or something. But Jay, take a look at this. This is the evidence. It starts with backstage at the turnabout.
Gumshoe diligently snips at something. What? He's making confetti?
See now, every time before a trial starts, pal, I do the one thing I can do to help out.
Not helpful. Oh. Anytime the Phoenix Wright wins a case, confetti streams down from the courtroom. Like, this is a serious court of law. Why are they celebrating? What if it was a false verdict, dude?
I do this.
The implication that Gumshoe tries to keep the atmosphere of the courtroom so pure and nice by making the confetti himself. Oh, there's another panel to this. Hold on, let me get that version. Check it out. Up. Well, thanks a lot, Detective Gumshoe. Especially since we're technically enemies and all.
You know, pal, Mr. Edgeworth doesn't get anything like that when he wins a case.
What does he get? What does he get? Apparently he gets this. The doves, the fireworks. Stop this! How utterly embarrassing! I'm not paying for that. Salary cut. Cup noodles for life. He goes even further all out. Oh, you know, that is completely within character for Gumshoe to do. I need to find out where that comes from. It's an official Capcom something. Like, there is actually an official Ace Attorney manga, but I think it's separate from this. For life sounds good to you. Hey, the more you eat cup noodles, the more that becomes true, right? Cup noodles for life. Because the more likely you are to have a heart attack. Oof. Alright, so we got this now. What does it do for us? It's the message, 3 pieces of evidence. But what does it mean? I'm gonna look a little bit more because Edgeworth is still giving me the nook and cranny thing. Oh wait, there's a piece of carpet that's not right under the basketball hoop? What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game?
That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Ah, there's still an imprint from where the hoop used to be.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Basketball hoop. My resolve does not change. Cup noodles forever. That's dark. I mean, it's true though. Ace Attorney, let's go. You're telling me there's still something new? I can't deduce anything, but I can't really see what else I'd look at. Let's see if there's anything new to the logic. Files in disarray, another handgun. Not really. Could there be another gun? Files in disarray. So, just in case, let me try to connect these two. I feel like there might be something else we need, but maybe I'm overthinking it. I still got plenty of health. I'm not dead yet. Nope, nothing. The pieces don't fit together quite right. Just making sure that there wasn't another deduce we could do. Let's see if talking to somebody could reveal something new. Is everything all right? 154 pounds? Nope. How about you, Maggie? Nope. Something to Gumshoe? Partner button. Do any one of these buttons do partner? That's logic. For the most part, you can do everything with the controller, but I think... Yeah, there you go. It's the Y button.
Yes, sir.
If I present you something about the note... I don't think it's necessary to give Gumshoe any of these, because showing him stuff is more like asking for hints.
I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it.
Gumshoe, not a good look right now. Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait. Probably. Here, I have my badge.
Your prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge.
Yes. Compensating for something, Gumshoe.
Oh, but it's really cool, sir. Much, much cooler than my badge could ever be.
There's no need to suck up to me, detective. As transparent as an atomic purple Game Boy. Oof. Do-ba-do-da-do. Anything else we need? I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. That's how you know you're done. What happens if I try to go back to my door? Maybe there's an imprint there too? Yeah, there you go. I won't rest until I've inspected every nook and cranny. Look down, look down. I don't see any signs of forced entry. Dusted for prints?
And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with the key.
Do you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. White, they think.
Sometimes the lack of a fingerprint is as good as a fingerprint. Although I'm surprised that my prints aren't on it. I guess Edgeworth noticed that it was open and just pushed it. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. The lack of fingerprints sometimes means either they were wearing gloves or that they were just very careful. They knew that any prints would immediately indict them. 1202. Those 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops. Hey, these number plates were lying right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off when the room becomes vacant, you know. You know, that makes less sense. Like, if there were names, then yeah. Hey, wait. Maybe in the original game there were names, but they changed it to numbers so they wouldn't have to localize it for, like, every region. Like, okay, the room becomes vacant if a prosecutor leaves, but it's still room 1202. Like, the room doesn't become non-existent. That's gotta be a localization thing. I bet. I'll probably look it up later. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... Well, there you go. It got swamped with portments, easy. Minimalistic, classy door made of top quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it nearly impossible to break in by force. Maybe if Gumshoe rams it with hard enough force. The same kind of force he uses to bring in decisive evidence at the end of a trial, right after the defendant was already declared guilty.
It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door.
Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Oh, don't worry, Gumshoe, you're a door. You're adorable. Woohoo! Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire.
I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone?
Right. Sometimes Edward's pauses are as expressive as any smile, pout, or anything you'd find in L.A. Noire, basically.
That long pause wasn't exactly assuring, sir.
F. Now let's see. Anything else possibly new? The nice thing about the Ace Attorney series is that when you've seen something already, you're able to fast forward it. Later games make it even better and allow you to fast forward all the time. But at least in the older games, I use it as a way to, like, check, have I seen this yet? I'm not getting the option to look down. Ploopster's heading to bed. Thanks for the stream. Hey, no problem, Ploopster. Thanks for coming on by. I'm glad you were able to come back. It's been a while. Have a good night and sleep well, okay? Catch you next time. We'll definitely be streaming more of this tomorrow. Just want to make sure I get through this episode at least. It shouldn't take too long, as far as I remember. Definitely not the Great Ace Attorney, where, like, oh, looks like the first case was actually the length of every major case. Hey, there's something here. What is that? A book? It's the missing file. It's...
Isn't this that missing 0 series file, sir?
0H, yeah. Or maybe it says hole. No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Uh-oh. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. Was it Von Karma? Ace Attorney, they love to do this thing where seemingly minimal or useless pieces of evidence end up being tied into a greater plot. I bet this is one of those things, if I remember. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
And that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. 10 years ago! Yep, definitely ties into something greater. Anytime they say X years ago, remember that. Mark words.
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
Investigation complete! Doesn't even matter. Healed up the full. Just ate a maximum tomato, man. It was in my pocket. That's why my jacket is red. So it doesn't stain. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely, surprisingly.
Huh? How so, sir?
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case.
You know who the killer is? Mr. Edgeworth?
As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. Who would have guessed?
Mr. Portsman?
I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
I feel like there was more of your emotions running high than the logic, but you know what? As long as you agree with Edgeworth, I'll take it. That is anything but logical. I don't know. Throughout the entire series, Maggie Bird never bet against her. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Lady and gentleman. One of each. Thankfully not DL6. Could you imagine if it was? Wait a minute, we're not just tying into the past, we're tying into a previous game. You know what'd be cool? Now that the current Ace Attorney series is set 8 years after original Ace Attorney? What if they were like, nah, there was a case 8 years ago, and they refer back to, I don't know, Rise from the Ashes? They refer back to maybe, whatever, Turnabout, whatever case 4 was in Ace Attorney 1. Turnabout Christmas, sure. Almost Christmas. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Careful. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Naoto's always on beat, no matter the music. That's why I keep vibing Naoto around, dude. She's got the rhythm, the vibe. Oh no, I'm entranced. I should sync up the shifty chicken eyes. Billy Bit, wow, how you doing? Been a while, hope you've been well. Half a year, enjoy the 6 months. Ooh, that means your chicken is finally fully grown. Enjoy it, and enjoy the emotes, grab a nest, get comfy. Enjoy the show, Mr. Billy Bit. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. I was apparently wandering around the office for an hour again. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Mr. Portsman.
Mr. Policeman.
I finished processing the bloody letters, sir.
All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. What? Nice pass. 2 points. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Go on. Oops. Does that count as a fumble or what? Gumshoe! Poor face of Gumshoe. Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? Do I look funny to you? Do I look like some kind of clown? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Postman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Exclamation point! You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. You mad, bro? I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. Porchman looking like an ant-hole. I mean, yes. You intend to hide your crime after the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? Well, I can see right through this unsightly, paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. I don't even know what a cowl is. Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Not denying it. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. My mind is an enigma. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours now is for explaining yourself. I ain't going anywhere else with that. You guys come up with something yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Should I just make like a sound cue whenever I come up with a dirty joke that I'm just not gonna say out loud?
Next level games!
It's Yahaha. It's a Korok. Koroks are now innuendo. Mr. Portman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but we back to testimonying. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Just like every Ace Attorney game, we gotta end with a testimony. Or how else are we gonna find the real killer? Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Now, ironically, although this is the end of the case, this is where it gets easier, because after you have all the evidence, you pretty much already know by this point how it all goes out. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on. With evidence. I will submit the evidence. Dun 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 dun. Only gonna lead to you trying to guess it in the chat. I mean, usually when I play one of these games, I say don't do that. But feel free. Feel free because I've played this game before and I know the solutions. Well, I mostly know the solutions if I can remember them. But like if you haven't played the game, feel free to guess. I like to see people like having their minds work it out. You know? I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away, blah blah blah. How many do you propose I unlock your door? But let's press that to see if there's anything more, but then we'll bring out the master key. Unfortunately, I believe I already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Always? You claim to have no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth? Alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot, bang bang. Very well then, I propose that you use this to open my door. Use what? Use this. Like this. You burned it right open, dude. Anyway, Master Key.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door with the Master Key, no less.
Objection!
Oh, guess the dirty joke. Also do that, sure, why not? The Automaton will take care of the dirtier answers. Wait, hold on a second.
I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Hey, that headband doing some work, though. Every sweat drop being caught by it. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Maggie Bird! Ace Attorney is the law, what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the card games. Every trap card already set, every autopsy report already activated. You know it. Maybe I should have said the Kaiba to his Yugi. That's what Edgeworth is. He certainly is pretty smug. Although not as egotistical, at least after the beginning of the first game. You would ask Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Take that! Honestly, I love Edgeworth's old voice lines. The ones in later games, pretty good. But, you know, every voice line in these games, I don't know what is it about the original, like, non-professional localizers, but they just nailed the energy. Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at the time was not your own, was it? Well, quite the imagination. Don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portman's door, sir. How? I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. Had to have been a nameplate in the original Japanese, I bet. See, Miss Baido backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her, to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example? Again, still doesn't make sense that they're easily removable. That's right! They do slide out pretty easily. Unless, like, they commonly reconstruct the building. They renovate all the time, and they add new rooms, all like on existing floors. But then, instead of doing the logical thing and adding them onto the end, they have to add them to the beginning. Oh, that would suck. They'd have to replace every single number plate. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give us very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. Ooh, look at those eyes. Look at that 1,000-yard stare. That is the stare of a man who's figured everything out. So what am I looking for? I know, it's the basketball hoop. Yeah. You remember hearing Von Karma for the first time and being scared? Let me see if I can recreate his objection.
Objection!
It's like so low, dude. They clearly use a voice filter. To me, it makes it hilarious.
That it's just a guy who's like trying to talk real low and he's got a voice filter on and it's like, oh my god, I'm so scary. I'm this big old German guy. Oh my god, fear me. I'm undefeated.
No. So, fun fact, Von Karma, I'm sure everybody who knows Ace Attorney knows. He was Edgeworth's mentor. That was mentioned. The story, what they tell you in the American version, again going with the whole Japanifornia thing, is that Von Karma is from Germany. It would make sense, right? Okay, music. Von Karma. But, actually, in the Japanese version, his name is just Karma, and he's supposedly from America? Yes, that's where Edgeworth and Von Karma's clothing sense come from. From American colonialism, dude. That's why he looks like that. And it's just funny to me that eventually later on in the series, they bring out actual German prosecutors, and now it just doesn't make sense, because they are very German. Oh well. It's basketball league, let's go.
Go Karuma!
That's his name. Very American, right? Sounded like an actual demon.
Objection!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved.
Just sit it in front of my office to be sure. I'm so glad I'm playing this on an emulator. The music's bugging out. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. What lies are you conjuring up now, Mr. Portsman? Conjecture's rebuttal. Rebuttal's rebuttal. Esquire, the third. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open up my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Oh, I do. If you had opened that door, you'd notice the message underneath. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? The bitter end. I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. Her jacket's not dirty. My jacket's dirty, I'll have you know. We just washed it yesterday. Well, what's that little spot on there? Is that bird feces? Oh, just my luck. Just kidding, just kidding. It's not funny, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. It is you! You fell off while playing Fall Guys into the pink slime. During Slime Climb. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had to go open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. The entire time? Joey Wheeler, attorney at law. It kind of turned into that, didn't it? Anytime I play a video game with voice acting, I kind of find the voice over time. And I was trying not to make it exactly Joey, but it's exactly Joey. It's what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regiment? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. In your room? You have a ball machine in your room?
Well, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have.
I don't... Von Karma's pretty big. Although, I guess he might be disbarred. With the weakest legal muscles, so it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so, you don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
Yeah, Brooklyn Rage! Prosecutor Rage! I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually. Hey, don't object. We're not in the court of law. But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
It's corroborating. Then what about all the evidence? Objection, fight! Let's go. Back and forth like pies in our face. It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. Well, you don't know the judge that usually oversees me in rights cases. He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push and all I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Let's make sure he opens up a little bit more. That gosh dang mouth of his. Nonsense, you say? Yes, because I'm telling the truth here.
Hold it!
It's probably this one. Using the master key, of course. Not hers door. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? I'm testifying over here, and I ain't lying. Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So it's not open, right?
Objection!
No prints? Just making sure. I love that animation. That no. You just done messed up, sir. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? Well, what for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Prints? What did they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her print should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction?
What if I to you?
Yes. I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as you claim. Because you would have noticed the note.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. And no. Of course I saw that note. It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. Not in. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Who's your daddy and what does he do? Ah! Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? I think it's pronounced charade. It's perfectly valid. We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. Nice pun. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Oh. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. Doesn't really solve the 2-bullet and 1 problem. He's just that good of a shot at ricocheted. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. As I said. Huh?
And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor. As he makes the huge mistake in accusing me is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. He's the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. Maybe he knows something about law after all. Also, Weedy, what's up? Oh, sorry, my controller was about to fall. I saw you there, some prosecutors, and give the impression that prosecuting is their side gig. They dress like something else. This is basically like Yu-Gi-Oh! Plus Danganronpa. Every character has to have a thing, whether or not it's actually relevant to anything in the plot whatsoever. He's the athlete. They did it to have the basketball hoop outside his office, I guess. And that's his entire character. I mean, let's be honest here, he's not going to appear past the first trial. It's not even a trial. The first case, I guess? So they got to make him stand out somehow. How much do I remember of this game? I don't remember, like, what to present to what. But I remember, like, oh yeah, the characters, who are fantastic, by the way. The writing, the jokes, the situations. Like, I'll be able to figure everything out. Absolutely. But enough has been forgotten that I can definitely enjoy replaying this I can enjoy replaying this all over again. That's the best. Just excuse me while he flaps his jacket. That's the best part about Ace Attorney, or perhaps even the worst part. I have to wait until I forget the game in order to replay it, or else I'll just be like reading it again. No. The best part's figuring everything out. And MJko, thanks for the hydrate. We're almost there, lads. You say you checked my doorknob, Prince. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knot down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, we could have left it there before I arrived at the office.
But he was dead, though.
Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? I'm sure you can make the claim. Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Work or work out. Now that's just a flat-out lie! There's You didn't notice a note that size. Don't question the flapping, it only makes it worse. What about the flapping? Here, keep going, keep going. He'll take off eventually. Into the sky! Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Oh. Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Dear sir? Orton makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Maybe footprints? Can we dust for footprints from his shoes? Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. Realized or came up with it. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. I don't think he's obsessive compulsive, or else he wouldn't have let that note on the floor. Absolutely, thank Twig. Alibi. U-G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi, you ugly. I mean that haircut. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down at Criminal Affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. You didn't bribe them, did you? Can't wait till the new prosecutor is revealed to be a baby with superpowers riding a dinosaur. Kamen Rider, don't tell me that's something that happens in one of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. I feel like that's it. Or maybe Tokusatsu. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. I don't like it. Not one bit. Detective Gumshoe!
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back.
You never played past Apollo Justice. I'm saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't tell me that's a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess Kamen Rider?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portman said. The guys down in Criminal Affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
Yes, see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Somewhere. Rebut butt. It's a butt buttle. You butt again. Van, what's up? Van. Hello. How time to drink? Oh, you know it. Thanks for the hydrate. Hope you're doing good. Keeping yourself out of trouble, I hope. How's college life? Are you studying for law school? Because this is your required material right here. Ace Attorney series. If you're just tuning in, or, if you need a refresher, this is a game about listening to witness testimony and finding the contradictions in it, presenting your evidence to refute it. Standard law stuff, I'm sure. I will say, the one time I was selected for jury duty, I definitely, used my Ace Attorney experience to look over all the evidence and whatnot. I had my own little court record, dude. I was into it. Of course, it was a pretty open and shut case, but still. Let's see. Exactly the time you're down Criminal Affairs. Maybe. Let's flip it around. Maybe it wasn't the fact that you were there at 2 a.m., but maybe I was mistaken on the time when I came in. Probably not. Rebut butt. Nice butt. So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building. I headed straight for the precinct. You said you were in your room, dude. Ask around.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony, and it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you around that time.
See? I had the perfect alibi! What's the matter, you? That's the ace I had up my sleeve. You're not even wearing sleeves! Yeah, short sleeves! Maybe perfect at first glance, but I know there's a hole in it somewhere. Press him and don't see what comes of it. What will he reveal? What is he hiding in that jacket of his? I bet he bought it for $2 at the thrift store! You're doing great. How about myself? Well, taking it easy. Taking it easy for sure.
Had a nice time not streaming yesterday and the day before that. But you know what? I just had to come back. I can't believe it's been a month since I've been out of my office of streaming. Your class is to play all Ace Attorney games. Good. Do your homework. You are correct. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation with the culprit at gunpoint. It is as you say, however... Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. I guess he doesn't have cat eyes. He's not wearing the sleeves, but yeah, sure. When the jacket's on. Maybe he's hiding it in his wristbands. Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Who's giving the testimony? Me or him? Oh well, doesn't matter if you remember or not. He's arguing against another prosecutor. Of course he'll have a taste of his own medicine, dude. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. Impossible. Nothing came out of it. Ace Attorney, sometimes you gotta press everything. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. Choo-choo! You there. Sir! Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Detective Gumshoe! Oh! Don't separate the star-crossed lovers. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation about. Turn about? If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. We still don't know why the gun was missing a bullet. So what if he's right, it wasn't him? It was somebody else pointing a gun to my back. Like maybe... Buddy Faith? I forget what came out of this, but this has got to be the only connection I can possibly make. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. Had to be another gun, another bullet. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. You like to press all the buttons too, self-destruct. I mean, that's what I do when I get the evidence wrong in this game. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once. Meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt that the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. No, did he steal Maggie's gun? Which could mean there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Eh? Do I have Mario Kart 8? You know I do. Oh? Oh? Well, there's only one thing I can do here. Turn off self-destruct. Only on Common Rider. Keep it on me. I need consequences for my actions. You're gonna pick it up. Do it. It's great. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight. That would also resolve the issue of why my shells were upended twice. We know that the shells were disturbed once before and after the murder. So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it. And once again after the murder by our second culprit. Who was the owner of the second gun? If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one pointed at my back... Objection! Objection to what? You were the one talking. Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you've finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, two?
Perfectly possible if it was never locked. It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. 2 guns, 2 left hands. Let's go. I like this continuity, though. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. Left hands. I saw Maggie holding the door with her left hand. I'm like, yeah, she's left-handed. Wait, do we know that? I'm thinking of her ex-boyfriend. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office. Objection! 2 guns, 2 left chickens. 1 shot, 1 kill. Objection! I object to myself. It was objectionable. Almost literally a quote from Edgeworth. Oh, he angry. No talk him. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. Which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. It's a Domonkashu pose. His guilt burns with an awesome flame. We're about to let that flame out. Bradfield, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing good. Hopefully you're not being spoiled right now. This alibi of mine glows with an awesome power. How you doing, sir? Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been good. How was Frog Fractions the other night? I have no idea what possessed you to play that game, but good choice. Good choice. Looks like an educational game, but is a little bit more than that. Hope it wasn't well. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman. Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing his own partner. What a scumball! No, no, no. No, no. You're not getting away that easy. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
He's such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another
Visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. steal my first kiss. Wait, no. Sorry, I've been reading a few too many romance novels. Sometimes you have to see games you haven't seen before to see a friend. Thank you, Brad. It means a lot. And I do hope you get into this series sometime. Again, I give you full permission to play the original 3 games on your own stream if you want, because they are fantastic. And I'll tell you, a lot less stressful than Danganronpa because you're not timed. Yeah, very, very big difference. Yeah. Somebody eating something? What you munching on? Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. No, Mr. Edgeworth, the second thief wasn't Phoenix. Dang! I wanted to pin everything on him. It's always him. Well, there's someone else I could actually think of. At my old school, there was a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Hey, dude, it wasn't me! Alright, Larry, it wasn't you, but I've got my eye on you. Next time! However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so... they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched for my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen zero file, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. All Might, that's my other name. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during our brief encounter. You thought Jack was nomming on a chip? That's his medal. He's gonna bend it at that point, especially if it's actually made of gold.
So the shell's getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets? It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met with was just a thief and not, in fact, Mr. Fate's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. What does he have? Sleepy's heading to bed. Hey, have a good night, Sleepy. We're probably wrapping this up soon, but I hope you can catch up. Thanks for being here, man. Have a good night. Oh, laughter?
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid! Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Oh no, Edgeworth's been hanging around Phoenix too long. These bluffs, these circumstantial evidences. Come on, we gotta find something. Gumshoe, quick, leave the room, come back. You'll probably come in with some new decisive evidence that we didn't know about. A track record if it shows. Supposing if, and that's a very big if, your theory's right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. Flap flap. But there is still one defining point of your argument, for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof. At this point. You don't say that, sir!
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I will do something if I must.
The himbo himself. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. The bullets? The bullets. Portsman's alibi, part 2. Rebuttal, the third Esquire. Wait a minute. Dude. We're in a courtroom dance party now. Come on, everybody, let's see it. Specialist. The jam.
No, don't fry me up. I'm ready to burn it up the dance floor. Let's go. There you go, Harris. Can we get some more? This is it. This is it. This is the courtroom drama that Law and Order wishes it could be. The thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be so expected to know what happened around here after I left. Eh? Where is Specialist? Right here. Werewolf, what's up? So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be wasting time on that dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all that dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Look at this. Even when he's on the ropes, Edgeworth is the one fully calm and collected. Sure, no alibi, or is it? Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Oh, there's that chip again. Doritos Loco Taco. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. What? Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick. Colonel, you need to set up Better Twitch TV. Please do. You miss out on all the fun if you don't. Real suspect. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. It might be Buddy Faith. Let's see. And maybe it's a chocolate coin. I knew it. He was never an Olympic medalist. It's just a cognitive reprojection coming from Kadashi's palace. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I had no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence, I was down at Criminal Affairs. Okay, that holds up, but... Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and he was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? I suppose this place would be relatively secure. You know, except for the murder. They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items. A gur and a pendant. A gur? What do you mean? What's a gur? Gur, what? No, not that gur. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let sit through the cracks. He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Oh, it said gun. I thought it said gur. I can't see, apparently. I'm super colorblind. No. 2 pieces of evidence? 3 pieces of evidence. Objection! Objection! Oh, now you done messed up. Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. A little bit of warning. The Ace Attorney localization team likes to put in memes. You'll see a couple of classic ones as I play through this series. Excuse me. You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. You done messed up. Why the heck you lying? Why the heck you lying? What are you thinking about? I haven't hidden anything from yous. Well, here's a piece that I think you should read carefully. Okay, glad to see it wasn't just me who thought it said gur. Also, gun? Maybe another piece of evidence was a bullet? Yeah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portman. I can't believe to get tripped up by some simple arithmetic. Oh, Jim, he was always terrible at counting. Uh-huh. Where's the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Now he's analyzing faces. He's taking Apollo Justice's shtick. Detective Gumshoe.
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
Oh. Don't get too do you see his recoil animation? His body is doing a full 90 degrees backwards. Oh. His spine. Hey, he must be real. He really is an athlete. He's really good at doing a trunk lift.
Don't come any closer.
I'm warning you. Get him, Mr. Gumshoe Edgeworth.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
Oh.
Hey, what's this? Oh? He had this on him, sir.
A VHS tape. In the year what? Another fun fact about the Ace Attorney series. It takes place around like 2016 to 2020, depending on the game. And then like 2028 in the later ones. No, this is the recent past. We're still using VHS tapes apparently. He's real flexible. Also, I will take this opportunity to say that I credit Brad for the inspiration for Edgeworth's voice. Just a little bit of Master Miller, but still less pompous, more confident. A little bit of that Liquid Snake, a little bit of that Kazuhira Miller Metal Gear Solid. I think about Brad's smooth voice every time I say anything in Edward's tones. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail of this into his coffin. What about it? Hold on. R. Oh, okay. What does that say? KG8 incident? Oh no, dude. Letters and a number incident. That's always important in these games. You don't know why they keep using that same VHS. They only had one model. They were lazy to make more. Hey, sure, it works. You know, I think a lot of security cameras out there in like stores and stuff are still running on tape because it's pretty convenient. Like, why waste like so much digital space, hard drives that might fail, when like, oh yeah, just pop in a tape. It works. It's been working. Sure, why not? The KG8 incident?
It's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case?
Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Right now, rest of the game, maybe. Let's give this casing a thorough once-over. KG8 incident. Oop. Now, wasn't there a little...
What's that smell? It's blood!
Also, the VHS tape kind of looks like a face.
Help! There's blood on my nose! Blood on my nose!
Soul Sapphire's in the bed. Thanks for the fun stream. Soul Sapphire, I'm always glad to have you. It's always good to have you. I hope you can catch up with the rest of the case. We're not too far from the end. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, okay?
It's blood!
What's that? That's the guy from Bloodborne, right? Father, Gascoigne is his name?
What's that smell? What's that smell?
Who punched VHS on? Oh, so violent. No bully the VHS tape. Domination Nation. What's up, Nathan? Also, Van with the hydrate. Thank you. You gotta go to bed. Van, also have a good night. Thanks for coming on by. Please get some good rest. It is 3 a.m.
That's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe that this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. Is it fresh? Oh, whoa. Yeah, because Buddy was hauling onto it when he died. Testing, it's his. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Fate's blood?
Hope this is not Chris's blood. No. You got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Why does my gas coin sound like Billy and Mandy Dracula?
Dracula don't bite. Dracula scrape and lick. Scrape and lick. What's that smell? It's blood.
I'm basing it off that one Plague of Gripes video.
What's that smell? It's blood, sir. This is a blood bank. That's what you should smell on account of the blood. Oh yeah.
Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints? If I had to take a guess, why? We know his prints were on it. Oh no, Buddy's prints. I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible.
Really hope that was made of chocolate, because then he's just dead. Heimlich. March 14, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202.
What's that smell? Dracula gonna be ready for the early bird special.
Is it blood or is it coins? Gas coin. Gold coin? He ate it. Did I just kill that man? No? Maybe like... What does that fall under in case of legal terms? If you cause someone to accidentally kill themselves through like stress or something. Like maybe force them to have a heart attack or make them like have an accident. I hope there's like laws protecting you from that, because it's an accident. He's fine.
Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth.
No, thank you, Miss Bird, for being so clumsy. He died of intestinal blockage. Pass it. Yeah. You know how I know? That that he'll pass it? Because he's such a big asshole. Mr. Portsman.
I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, so classy. So classy. The class from this man.
It was nothing, really, compared to what it's been through, I mean. I'll consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir.
Lucky that it was a murder.
If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I had thrown my hands up in the air and waved them like I just don't care. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for a security detail. What was your first clue, Mr. Edgeworth? It falls under involuntary manslaughter, but only if it can be proved that you were acting in a reckless manner that could have led to it. Ah. That's the thing about law. Very open to interpretation. Of courts of law.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say that he was corrupt? My rim shot has been denied. Fine, then I'll just specialize. What are you gonna do? Send me home?
Well, I heard there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
Forged evidence, huh?
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just kind of cleaned up.
Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something.
This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh? Well. I'm sure it won't come up in the rest of the game. No. Completely unrelated. This incident? Totally unconnected to anything. With Mr. Portman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we hadn't heard the last of this.
Eh? Then Mr. Portman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. The stolen Zero Series file.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Certainly wasn't Von Karma. He would have used a taser.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Yes.
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
Discard! Wait a minute.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
Not just any bird. It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. One that's been exposed to radiation. Even you should know what this is, Detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about?
The Great Thief. What, Gina Lestrade? No, different thief. Yes, it is the mark of the Great Thief. Yatagarasu!
Wow, that's pretty good Japanese, Edgeworth.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Do you like it?
Yatagarasu.
That was terrible. Yatagarasu! Under the mark of the legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. That they didn't bother to translate that, because it's so entwined with Japanese mythology. Look at that, a phantom thief. You know what? Next time I play Persona 5, I'm gonna name the thieves the Yatagarasu. The three-legged crow, that's him right there. Yatagarasu haunts embassy. The noble Yatagarasu, vigilante of the business world, reappears. What is he, Batman? Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence, and always in perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Oh, never mind, not the Phantom Thieves. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media. False advertising. He clearly has two legs. It's an artist rendition. What do you think? The actual Yatagarasu posed for a picture? Along with a single card. See, he sends the calling card after the theft. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's latest appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see. Dear Kamoshida, you... wrong.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files.
So, the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. You never see it. You never.
You never see it.
for they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Flashback! What? Next time. That's a story for another time. Go! First trial, case. Done in one stream. 4 hours. That was clearly a lot of me like faffing about, but still. I'm getting back into the swing of an Ace Attorney game, and don't worry. I remember the rest of the game much better. I hope. Been a while since you looked into Yatagarasu. You remember it's some kind of divine symbol. Guided an emperor? Let me look it up. As a bonus to you guys, here, have some jazz. You like jazz? Yatagarasu. It is definitely a thing from Japanese, like actual Japanese folklore. Like, look at this. This does like a the Wikipedia page has an image. That means it's gotta be real, right? If the Wikipedia page has an image. Let's see. Let's hope this isn't a WebP. Oh yeah, right here. Oh, look at that. I should make a chicken. You know what? I should make a chicken version of this. This is cool. Although, where's that other leg coming from? Yeah. Maybe he tried to eat something that didn't quite agree with him. It caused a mutation! Yatagarasu. Let's see. Let's read this wiki, huh? Ba-da-da-da. In the three-legged or tripedal crow, oh, it's actually from... maybe originally from Chinese? It's believed by East Asian cultures to inhabit and represent the sun. Oh? Earliest forms have been found in China. Evidence of earliest sunbird motifs. Sunbird was observed in Yangshao and Longshan cultures. Like, the name Yatagarasu itself is clearly Japanese, but apparently there's a Chinese name for it. The Sanzu Wu? I have butchered that. Pretty good. I'll read up more on this because this looks interesting. This looks very interesting. Present in many myths. Formal imperial garments in ancient China. Well, I'll give you guys the lowdown next time. For now, the Yatagarasu guided the first emperor of Japan, Emperor Jinmu. Ooh, nice. We'll see. I'll read you guys a story next time. I'll have it prepared. How about that? Tomorrow we'll be starting the second episode of this game. We're not going to finish it because I've learned that as nice as it is to make one episode per stream, I don't want to force myself, and I'd rather, like, you know, people are going to fall asleep during it. They're going to miss, like, the end. I'm going to keep it a little more bite-sized, so maybe 2 streams per episode. We'll see how it works. It's going to be harder to separate it all out because there isn't really, like, separate trial, investigation trial loops. There is, but there isn't. It's less obvious, I'll say. But we'll see. I'll try to chop it up into very, very manageable pieces. It's also in Korean Chinese legends. Ooh. Yeah, but in the meantime, thank you guys for coming on out. If you missed it last time, I did Twitch Sings. This right here was made by Twilight Fishy. It is a fantastic rendition of me singing. That's me, exactly. I don't know what happened, but they apparently snuck into my apartment and found me exactly. Yeah, so without further ado, thank you guys for coming on by. We'll play this game again tomorrow. Be there or be square. Turnabout Airlines. Yeah, wish I could get on one of those right about now. But yeah, if you need to go to sleep, I will let you. But in the meantime, if you liked it, give it a follow. There's a YouTube channel if you ever miss a VOD, or if you want to see me play Daigakuten Saiban. And you know, all the stuff like that. Have a good night, everybody. We'll find somebody to raid in a second. But if you're going to sleep, have a good night. Stay clucky. And I'll see you next time. Don't make me object to your absence.